So he's a corn addict, but he doesn't want to change, or he doesn't want to get accountability. Let's talk about it. My husband and I have come to the conclusion that he has a porn addiction, but he refuses to have any accountability for it and says that he's not going to watch it anymore for our family. How can I basically get him accountability? First of all, I am so sorry with what you are going through. I have been there. It is extremely difficult. It is more difficult when they do not want to give up this addiction and they don't want to change from it, or they believe that they can control it themselves without getting the help and the recovery that they absolutely need. For anyone else who's watching this, if you want to, you can absolutely book a call with me. That is what I do. I offer one-on-one coaching and support. My husband offers it one-on-one for men who are struggling with corn addiction. He's been 3 years sober. I'm at 3 years outside of the healing journey, and our marriage has never been better. This is what we do. But I want to approach this question today with a little bit of gentle and also tough love. We're going to talk about boundaries in this case, because ultimately you cannot control anything that they do or do not want to do, okay? If they want to hold on to this addiction, if they want to tell themselves that they can be their accountability partner, whatever it is, how you handle this is on you at this point. And it's more about what you want, what you find acceptable, what you find unacceptable. Where do you draw the line? Because the only person in this scenario that you can control is yourself. That's it. You can't micromanage them and catch them in the act. You can't make them go to a therapy meeting. You can't make them have accountability. You can't make them do anything they don't want to do. And that is extremely frustrating about this. So what can you do? You can set boundaries. This is a sheet in my bio. You can go and download it. It's only $3. It is a template that I made. And I teach people, this is your yellow boundaries, which is an area for them to proceed in caution with. Your gray boundaries are places that you are finding unacceptable behavior, things that are hurting you mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually, okay? Any four ways that a person is hurting you in those categories, put it in your gray area. And then your red boundaries are, if you continue to hurt me in these 4 ways, I have to exit the relationship for my personal health and growth. All right, you're putting yourself first in with using boundaries. And many of us as women do not put ourselves first. We put the relationship first. We put the kids first. We people please first. We put the boss and the work first. Whatever it is, we put all these things first, but it's like putting the cart before the horse. All right. If you're not putting yourself first, your life is not going to go where you want it to go. You're not going to be happy. You're going to be full of resentment and bitterness because you're silencing yourself and you're not actually vocalizing it what it is you want. And for so long, we keep silent and we allow these things to pile up until we get to a point of like, how did it get to this point? Why is it at this point? So let's backtrack and figure out, how can I set some boundaries here? Number 1, what are you going to do if he refuses to get accountability? How are you going to respond to that? If you had no fear, how would you respond to that? 2, are you going to tolerate, enable, or put a stop to the problem? And when I say put a stop to the problem, it's you either remaining or you exiting the situation. Because how is the situation affecting you mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally? How is that affecting you that this person is constantly looking at corn? Is your mental health okay? Or are you constantly looking at the way he's checking out other women? Are you okay spiritually, or do you feel like you're just grieving every day on Sunday morning? You can't pray and ask God for anything because you're bitter at God. Why is my partner this way? Why did you put me in this marriage? Are you affected physically, like you're either eating too much food or you're starving yourself, you can't sleep, you're having stomach problems, you're having insomnia, your palms are sweating, you're having anxiety and panic attacks? 4, how is it affecting you emotionally? Are your emotions all over the place? Are you yelling at the kids because you're affected by your feelings not being validated or heard? You're full of anger, you're full of bitterness, you're full of grief or sadness, you're grieving the relationship you thought you had but you didn't have. These are all very complex things, but they are things that your partner is doing to you. And so it's not about telling them, hey, I don't want you looking at that corn. It's more about, hey, This is how your corn is affecting me. This is how this addiction is ruining our relationship. This is how this addiction is making me decide I may have to remove myself from the situation, because if this behavior continues, I have to decide if I need to leave for good. I need to separate for good. So I'm communicating to you as my partner that this is a boundary I am setting. And if you continue this behavior, the behavior I am seeing is unacceptable to our relationship, to my mental health, to my physical, spiritual, etc. health, I have to decide how I'm going to remain in this situation, or if I'm going to need to leave. Okay? That is why your boundaries are so critical. And when you actually stand on your boundaries and you do what you say you are going to do, that is when they go, oh, she actually meant it. She actually meant that boundary she set with me. And you're like, yeah, because it's right here on this piece of paper that I gave you. Remember that conversation that we had? I was very clear and communicated to you that I found this boundary, if you crossed it, unacceptable. And so that boundary wasn't actually for you, it was for me. And so because you have affected me again in one of these 4 categories, and I already told you that this was going to be the consequence, I guess I am going to have to separate and remove myself from this situation until you go and get the recovery and the help and the accountability that you need. So it's not about changing them. It's about changing ourselves and the way that we communicate, and that we respond to the addiction, and the way that we don't tolerate or enable it, and the way that we stand in our own worth. Because the day that we do that, ladies, is the day that these guys are going to go, oh, like, she meant it. She meant what she said. And you're going to go, yes, I did.